Somewhere in the luggage of every team at the World Cup is a shirt they are hoping never to wear. It is not their famous home color. It is not their usual away shirt either. It is a third one, folded flat and packed just in case. Most tournaments, it stays in the bag. That is strange when you think about it. A country spends years building an identity around one set of colors. So why bring a spare to the spare? Start with the simplest version of the problem. When two teams play, you have to be able to tell them apart. Not only the 22 players, but the referee glancing up in the middle of a sprint, and the hundreds of millions watching on screens far away. So every team carries a home kit and a change kit, usually one light and one dark. The idea is that whoever you draw, one of your two shirts will stand out against theirs. Two kits sounds like plenty. For most matches, it is. But look closer at what a clash actually is. Imagine a team that plays in red at home and white away. Now imagine their opponent plays in white at home and red away. Line up the options. Red against red is a clash. White against white is a clash. Both of this team's shirts collide with both of the other team's shirts. Two kits each, and there is still no clean pairing. Someone has to find a third color, or the match turns into a blur. Now add the part most people never think about. A lot of the people watching cannot see color the way you might assume. Red-green color blindness affects roughly 1 in 12 men. To them, a red shirt against a green pitch, or a red team against a dark opponent, can flatten into the same murky tone. Football's governing bodies have slowly started taking this seriously, checking that the two sides are not just different to the average eye, but genuinely separable to everyone. So the clash is not settled on the day by a coach digging through a kit bag. It is decided long before anyone kicks a ball. Before a World Cup, every team has to register its kits with FIFA. They submit their designs in advance, shirts, shorts and socks, home and away, and the goalkeeper's colors too, because a keeper has to stand out from both teams and from the officials. FIFA lays these swatches side by side, fixture by fixture, and works out who wears what. In the match listing, one team is named first, and that ordering helps decide who keeps their preferred kit and who has to change. Most of the time, it resolves neatly. One team in their home colors, the other in their change strip, everyone clearly separate. But every so often, the paperwork throws up a fixture where the obvious pairing does not work, where both first choices clash and both second choices clash too. That is the moment the third shirt earns its place in the bag. This is not a modern invention dreamed up to sell merchandise, though selling merchandise certainly helps. The problem is as old as watching football from a distance. Go back to the 1966 World Cup final, played at Wembley. England, the hosts, normally play in white, but their opponents, West Germany, wore white too. So England changed. They lifted the trophy that afternoon in red shirts, not the white ones their fans expected. The color you might now picture as classic England was, that day, simply the shirt that did not clash. The registration system exists so that surprise never has to happen on the pitch. Every possible meeting is checked in advance. Every collision spotted before kickoff. Every team told exactly which shirt to carry out of the tunnel. And because the planners cannot always guarantee that two kits will be enough for every twist of the draw, they ask for a third. A safety net for the rare fixture where light meets light and dark meets dark. So that folded shirt is not vanity, and it is not really a spare. It is an answer to a question the organizers asked months earlier in a room full of color swatches long before the crowd arrived. It is proof that a game which looks spontaneous has been quietly color-checked, opponent by opponent, so that when you glance at the screen you never once have to wonder who is who. The third kit is the shirt that keeps the whole thing legible. Now you know.